So, guys, Alpha Strike with some tips for Summoner's War Chronicles. My first tip is to make sure you're doing your selective summons till you get a monster that you are happy with. Segment's pretty much the main PvP monster everyone's going for. But if you're looking for just an easy story run, you pretty much want a water monster. Theomars is really good for the final boss and a lot of dungeons. Just puts out a lot of DPS, but that's pretty much the best support for mages and ultimate based comps. Lapis is pretty good, but you get her for free from the 7-day reward. Vanessa you can get from the Summoner's Pass. You get her instantly if you buy the pass, but you get shards if you just play free to play, and you will eventually get her. Other than that, you can go for any monster that you like. Go through the monster book, look for one that either you like for its looks or for its kit. After that, your starting team should pretty much be Konamiya, who, if you don't get him early on, they will give him to you as a day 2 reward. And I don't have wind in here. Shannon, who they also give to you. They're both 3 stars, so they're easier to build. In this game, Awakening goes past 5 and 6 stars, so keep that in mind. But if you look at the resources required to build them compared to a 5-star, it's a lot. Even some of the 3 stars in Summoner's War are 4 stars here, and even those take quite a bit of resources. The only resource that's separated for them is the Rainbow Mons, which 4 stars only go towards 4 stars, 3 stars only go to 3 stars, 5 stars only go to 5 stars. And yeah, Konami and Shannon will carry you through the story. Konami is just your support, healing, and cooldown reduction. Shannon's going to give you your attack buff, defense break, so you're pretty much free to use whatever you want in that last slot, usually your 5-star from your selector. Then if you get stuck in any story stage, just go in here, area exploration for the stories you're in. One example is Aya. You'll run into a boss that does a lot of healing. If you go in here and you do, it's not Aya, it's Florence. Florence, you go in here, you do this mission, you unlock Wind Mystic Witch from the monster story, which is right here. And she will be your heal blocker for that stage. That gives you the resources to 6-star her. I went ahead and level 70'd her. She's really good for that heal block mechanic. But yeah, the game will pretty much give you anything you need for the hard bosses. In the final boss, if you did not get Theomars, if you go in here, one of these missions, I'm not sure, I haven't done it yet, will give you the resources to build Water Amazon. She's pretty much budget Theomars. In some cases a little bit better because her freeze isn't conditional. And then while we're in here, these area dungeons are tons of free crystals and rainbow mons, so if you need to build a monster, just knock these out. once you're done with a story, you're pretty much gonna be free to do whatever you want. Path of Adventure is where you're gonna get your runes. It's honestly just pick a couple to focus on. If you go with a water team, I would recommend Lava Cave, especially if you have Theomars. If you and then Tear Glands Cave, you're gonna want to build. You're gonna want to build Diane. His mechanics are built for it, but I will probably make guide videos for each of those. Uh, then you're not gonna worry about runes till you're done with the story. You can pretty much do it just with the rune sets, just like most mobile games. But once you start building your monsters, you're gonna want to look at whether for your DPS, you're gonna want to look at whether they're DPS, like damage per second, ADC from League, where they're auto attacking for their damage and then they have their skills on top of it. Theomars, Star are examples of those. They have attack speed based effects or attack speed up. And generally they're going to be a ranger or an assassin. Then your mage style DPSs like Celia and Iselia is pretty good. But that's gonna determine how you build them. So Theomars, he would be runed on attack speed, then crit damage, crit rate, and attack or whatever gets you some damage stats. It's still pretty early, so you're not going to have ideal stats on everything. And then mages are generally going to be attack, crit damage, crit rate, attack. They don't care about attack speed as much since their damage is going to be coming from their abilities and not their auto attack. And warriors are pretty much bruisers. You're gonna since they're melee in general, you're going to be looking to build them kind of tanky, but with attack and crit damage. No real concern for attack speed. Tanks, you want them tanky. If they have debuffs, you want a little bit of accuracy. Evasion isn't a stat in this game. Where's rune sets? Evasion. There's an evasion set, but I don't believe there's an evasion main stat. That's just your chance of not taking damage from a hit. So you have evasion and resistance, accuracy and precision. They go off of each other to counteract each other. And then for Kona, I would recommend going like an evasion build because on top of being a healer, he's kind of your tank for the early game. And then you have your supports, which depending on who it is, they're probably going to want evasion as well, maybe some resistance. Chloe's really good for arena. She's actually kind of annoying, especially soul linked. That's another thing. So your soul linked monster is going to be off of your mana with no cooldown. Or, well, I guess the cooldown's the animation. So quicker animations, you're going to be able to spam a little bit faster. But your other two will be off cooldowns. So you kind of want to figure out which one you want to spam and which one you're fine waiting for the cooldowns. There's a cooldown for switching, but you can't switch. There are some supports though that will want you to build a little bit of attack speed. Kuni's an example. His basic attack will recover HP, so you want to keep that in mind when it comes to attack speed. If they have a skill 1 effect, they probably want a little bit. Other than that, you're going to be just looking for tank stats, basic support stats. that covers most things. I will probably be making a separate video on a few of the hard dungeons, hard TOA stages, and team compositions, and etc. So if you like the video, subscribe, drop some comments. I'm pretty new to YouTube, so any constructive feedback is appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm kind of far. So we're separated by server, but these are my rankings. I'm on West Anvil. Doesn't seem like there's too many like super try-hard people, since a lot of our Hall of Fame stuff isn't filled. Oh, Arena. I almost forgot about Arena. Arena, just do your attacks. You're gonna want to get the Devilmon for sure. There's a legendary scroll. You can get some rainbow mons from here after you get the Devilmon, if you don't want to save up for the costumes. The costumes are kind of cool. There's a surfboard ride, which is kind of cool. And you can get some so you can get mystical scrolls from here. You can also get shards from here. Then in the guild shop, you can get shards, a bunch of scrolls, an LD, mysticals, some more costumes. Some costumes give you effects for your monsters. Let me see if I can get it to show up here. Just some passive stats. And yeah, Ascension shop, that's your TOA shop. The main thing you're gonna want from here is these shards. Then you can go for costumes. That's what I'm going for. The ride's cool, but at 100k, I'd rather get the costume first for. This one is mage type monster, HP by 402. So that'll give a little bit of extra stats to my monsters. And then subjugation token, this is one of the path of growth things. You'll get them. It's not too difficult, it's actually one of the easier dungeons to do, but you'll be able to get a few weapons here. Raids is pretty much where you're gonna get your really good weapons though. Fog memory. So if you go here, path of growth, subjugation. I've mostly been doing whatever's on bonus. Not too worried since my summoner is just a tank. Then expedition is a completely different thing. You get materials to craft some stuff. Skill books are pretty important. You'll want to enhance your skills, but then you have your party dungeons, which include raid. These drop gear. I think this one's just meant to be like an early game one, since it only drops 2 and 3 stars from what it looks like, or 2 stars from what it looks like. I haven't actually done these. I have been pretty busy with work since I unlocked it. And this one will give you 4 stars, but this is where you get your legendaries. You have 1 entry a day, so it's pretty important to do them. You get a few tickets from different events, so you'll be able to join more than once. Just when you do it is up to you. It's pretty hard from what I've heard. I haven't gotten a group together to actually be able to try it. Then, so yeah, make sure you're collecting your shards every week. Raid, arena, I mean, we're early game, so if you set up a defense and just climb a little bit, you can actually get in a decent ranking. The ranking rewards are pretty good. I would recommend trying to get as high as you can. Once you get into gold, you start to get mystical scrolls at a pretty decent rate. And then once you get the monthly rewards or the season rewards, I'm not sure if it's monthly, you get, I mean, these three are, well, even all the way down to here is probably gonna be pretty pay to win or difficult. If you grind and you're efficient, you should be able to get up here though, probably. But a lot of free gems, a lot of free summons. Another thing is you're gonna wanna work on your professions. So as you're doing the story, just collect everything you see pretty much, because you're gonna wanna promote these by taking all your material and processing it. And I need to work on this one. I did not look at it, but you're gonna get these books, which I'll probably make a video on. You'll be able to craft some runes, but if you go down here, you'll be able to craft some mystical scrolls. So it looks like it's 3 per week. Daily limit of 1, so I've missed out on 5 of these already. Unknown scrolls are actually good in this game. You can get a 1 through 4 star of light or dark in them, as well as regular elements. And then mystical scrolls, same thing. You can get all the way up to a light and dark 5 star from it, as well as the normal element. Then 5 legendary scroll pieces, you need 30. So pretty much every 6 weeks you're guaranteed a legendary. So I feel like the game's decently generous if you just play. Trial of Ascension is going to give you more rewards. And oh, I think I had one more tip on monsters that I kind of skipped over. It's really just focus on 3 till you finish story. And don't upgrade too many runes. One thing I would recommend for sure is once you have your first DPS and you have their rune set, try to make your following DPSs be able to use that same rune set. I kind of just threw whatever because I was using them to farm some of the missions where you just kill mobs on the overworld, but it'll make it a lot easier if you can just carry over your DPS set. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.